Ah, what is up, YouTube? This is LA Prepper, and we are about to embark on an exciting adventure into Taco Thursday with some delicious Elysian full contact Imperial Haze. Oh, that glare on that can is unbelievable. It's quite good. I have been on an IPA binge for a couple years now. Yeah, a couple years on the IPA. Oh, God, that's amazing. That's so amazing. Cloaked in a semi-translucent haze, an imposing presence beckons you to come closer. As you do, your nose opens to a tangent of wistful memories. Damn, that's poetic. Peach season in the orchard, a tangerine tree on a hill, fresh honeydew, cold from the fridge. I like how we go from an orchard to a hill. Sorry. Yeah, from an orchard to a hill to your fridge. That's funny. And a vanilla cream soda in your hand. Vanilla cream, interesting. Was I getting vanilla? Hard to say. What kind of bittersweet initiation is this? Oh, nothing like just a little bit of marketing, but let's tear into some tacos. Oh, I need another bowl. Hold on. Oh, now let me see. How on earth do I invite people? I cannot even remember how to. Oh my gosh, who is calling me right now? Hold on. What? Yes, can I help you? Oh, yes. I am not, and they were walking westbound. I went home. It was about 15 minutes ago, so I was just concerned because if for whatever reason they were walking down the middle of the street and that was their intention for I don't know obviously, but of course being very dark, and if the person clearly was not in a state of mind that they understood that wandering down the street, a car almost hit them, which is why I called, because they were walking literally exactly in the middle of the street. So they might be on the sidewalk. They probably would have walked, several blocks by this point if the lady was still walking. So I just wanted to call just so that perhaps officers can kind of be aware that if she kind of wanders into the street, throughout the night, maybe they can stop and talk to her and see if she's doing all right. You're welcome. You have a good night. Bye bye. Sorry about that. One of my fellow Los Angeles um, was not quite Uncle Al. I cannot remember how to invite you. I swear, I don't know what on earth. Yes, it was dispatch. That's very yeah. Wow, Uncle Al. Ooh, you're good. You're pretty good. Um, but yes, it was 911 dispatch because this lady I had called about 15, 20 minutes ago. How on earth do I invite people, Uncle Al? I cannot. Is it share? No, it's not share. I know there's a way to do it. How on earth do I do it? Uncle Al, you got to help me out. How do you invite people on StreamYard? I'm gonna have to like Google this right now. This is terrible. I thought they lit up. I need to get some new headphones, Kevin, that light up. I used to have headphones that light up, but I broke them. Um, but they're quote unquote gaming headphones, mostly just because they have the mic. But because they're gaming headphones, because they sell them to kids, they usually have like gimmicky colors, red. I mean, why not personalize your headphones? Yeah, I forgot too. I don't know. I cannot believe I cannot remember how to do this. It's so embarrassing. It should be an easy thing. I don't know where the heck. Let me see here. How to incite. How to increase testosterone. Why is Google telling me that? How to increase the milk supply. Why on earth would I Google that? Have I been talking about cows? How to increase your credit score. I have been talking about that. How to increase serotonin. Now that is scary because that's something I've talked about with some friends, but something I don't Google very often. But I have Googled it before. Tell you, Google how to invest in stocks. I am investing in stocks. I can't type. You see how big this thumb is? Okay. You see how big my thumb can hit is that 8? My thumb can hit 8 buttons at the same time. So the point is how to invite someone to a Zoom meeting. We're getting closer. Someone to StreamYard. Here we go. The host should provide you with a link. Click the link. Okay, but that's what I'm trying to figure out is how to get the link. Oh my god, let me go to the multiple people thing. Maybe that'll help me figure this out. It's not share. What is it? Banners, brand, private chat, settings, guests. Nope, that's not it. General. Maybe it's up here. Solo layout, mute. It's gotta be somewhere. Well, I'm sorry I haven't figured it out. Help. No, I don't really see a help section. Okay. Guest instructions, StreamYard. Let's try this. Wow, this is unbelievable. Swear to God, this is from StreamYard.com. The host should provide you with a link before the show. That's what I'm trying to figure out is how do you get the link? I know it's so easy, it's not even funny. I just can't remember. What the hell? Guests? Green screen? Audio? Camera? General? Let me try this. Oh, I fucking knew it. I knew it. The stupid fact that I was sharing my screen caused this stupid message to come up with which blocked the invite button. I knew that's so stupid. I'm gonna have to email him about that. That is really unfortunate. So I don't know if I can't really show you what I'm looking at. I don't think, although maybe I can actually do this. Hold on. Yeah, so what we'll do, and let me go to that one. Man, this is looking really confusing. But anyways, so this window, which is sort of this infinite thing here. Oh, this is what I want to do. Sorry. Okay, well, that didn't really help. But anyways, so you see how it says, you can't really see. Maybe you can, I don't know. But it says StreamYard.com is sharing your screen. Stop sharing, hide. And you'll notice when I go back and I close this, then, well, you can't see because I'm not sharing the screen anymore. But the point is now I have this invite button. You know, I grew up with technology. I grew up with computers, Apple, Oregon Trail, 3.5-inch floppies, dial-up modem. I've been around long enough to be with computers when they were young. God, their beans are so good. I don't know what they do to them. Some ham hock or piece of pig in these beans or something. I don't know. They're really amazing. But yeah, how are you guys doing? I'm sick right now. Mostly a chest cold, I hope. I guess we'll see. Not too worried about it. So, ¿qué tenemos aquí? Aquí tenemos pintos, frijoles pintos, which are delicious. Put those aside. Limones y rabona, I believe, which is radishes and limes. I know my Spanish is terrible, but I don't care. So I'll put the radishes and the limes in there. The radishes are nice. They're kind of like a cleanser for the palate. They're also just like vitamins. I don't even know what kind of vitamins radishes have. Let's look. And I wonder if I can listen. Oh my gosh. Here we are. What is going on, Uncle Al?
Hi, LA Prepper. What are you doing up this late?
The better question is, why am I not at work? That's the better
True.
question. It's because I'm sick and because I don't like my boss, mostly.
Oh, that's a good excuse. So, how are you doing so far?
No, we're doing good. I haven't been uploading a lot of videos. I've been sort of not making a ton of progress on the house. The bathroom still has a lot of little
Flaws.
just little dumb projects and details that are kind of slowing me down, but it's nothing beyond my skill. It's just sort of beyond my motivation and energy at the moment.
Yep. I'm just having fun.
I heard you crawled under a house to adjust something. That sounded awesome.
Yeah, 40 minutes laying on your back, crawling around under what you call prefab home. You know what's a prefab home? It's two mobile homes slammed together.
Yeah,
Lie
well,
on your
they're
back.
cheap. They
Yeah, I
work
know.
and they're cheap.
Lie on your back in 70-degree weather in overalls, going like this because you didn't have one of those skateboard thingies that you lie on your back,
Creeper. Yeah.
creeper, to go underneath the damn thing in 40 minutes and find out I have a metric lug instead of a standard.
Oh, well,
And I had to turn around, crawl out for 40 minutes, go back there with the correct lug on my spammer wrench and crank it in. I'm not paying $275 for some guy to do it. I'll do it myself.
I dug. I don't know how much I talked about it on the YouTube video, but I had to re-dig about 30 by 10 feet of sewer under my house because the line from the garage went under my footing and then uphill and then over to the main line. And I'm like, what was this moron doing? So I had to dig this whole fucking trench, right? And I could have paid somebody to dig it, but it's like they already paid two people. There were two lines from the house, Uncle Al. There was one that went under my bathroom and one that went under my second bedroom. So they dug one line, they screwed it up, and then they dug a second line, and they still screwed it up. So I'm like, I'm not paying anybody to do this. I'll just do it right. Jesus, I'm not perfect, but at least the pipe has a goddamn slope, so the shit goes downhill, you know?
Right, not coming back up through the other pipe.
Oh my God.
It's better
Yes.
that you do it yourself. I lengthened my name to Uncle Al, that old kook, or Die Bullfrog 79.
Oh my gosh, that is a long name.
Yeah, it's kind. Whoops, pulled out the plug. Nope, other plug. Eh. I got too many wires. Power plug.
I've tripped over these headphones 1,000 times, and I've like yanked. So I'll get up and they'll tag on something, so I'll jerk my head.
I'll walk past them. I'll trip. I'll fling them off the table. I'm like, oh my! I got to get wireless headphones. They're not that expensive.
Yeah, Kevin, you have to do things yourself or you won't get it right. It's like, you know, my niece says, "Oh, we just hire somebody to take care of it." No, you do it yourself and get it done right.
I
Because
will.
one of my
Go ahead.
what? Go ahead. You say you must say.
I was going to say, I must say that, of course, if certain things, like, I'll give you an example of things that I wouldn't do myself. I wouldn't necessarily try to texture an entire wall with a skip trowel, right? Because I'm not like plaster wise. Some crafts are so specialized. Like I can braze copper pipe. I can do kind of like basic wiring, electric wise. Um, but like, say you want to chop down a tree and it's 100-foot tree. Yeah, you could get a ladder and a rope or an ascender and you can climb that tree, or you can pay someone and they can risk their life falling out of a 100-foot tree to chop it down. So I think the point I'm trying to make is always try to do things that you can that are within reason. But if you're getting into a situation where either you don't have the expertise, like say you're trying to weld something on your car that's like structurally critical, or a boat or a crane or part of a farm, something important, don't get in over your head. Like it doesn't, you can grow, and if you're not doing the best paint or plaster, if you make a plumbing mistake, it's going to leak or whatever. So it's like, it's not a big deal if you screw up doing plumbing. But sometimes you just kind of got to be careful because you don't want to get too in over your head. Like, I'm going to do everything forever. You know what I mean?
True. That's what I let do. My friend do electrical. After the third shock, it's bad for my heart. Why is that horrible smell in the house? That Uncle Alan had 120 volts through him.
That's why carpenters have always called electricians Sparky.
Yeah. But like I said, other than that, I've been mostly burying people for my church because the regular reverend scared to go outside. I said, "Don't you trust God?" No. So I've been burying a lot of people at the cemetery doing the services.
Well, that sounds important and reverent.
But it's kind of funny too. uh, but anyway, I'm feeding people, taking care of them. Been on a whole bunch of live streams. Everybody's asking, why don't you do a live stream, Uncle Al? Well, when Biden becomes president and hell freezes over in Texas. So I got to do a live stream pretty soon.
Well, the only problem is Biden is president and it did freeze over in Texas.
Texas, yeah, I know. I got to do a live stream. It's like, I'm busy. I just barely got some sleep because I'm up at 4:30 in the morning rolling along. And it's kind of killing me. I have to go to see my doctor next week.
Not getting sleep or just getting up early?
No, it's just the whole rigmarole. They want me to spend more time on the couch, play games or something, Uncle. I'm not that kind of person.
They told you shouldn't be like up and active as much as you are?
Yeah.
That's a load of horseshit.
That's what I said. But they said, no, we got doctors says you're supposed to be lying down. You've been stomped by a Holstein bull. Your internal organs are all scrambled up. You suffered 2 strokes. You have whatchamacallit? I have stents in my heart. 2. Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3.
They keep the stuff open, right?
Yeah. And I lost weight. I used to be 350. And I'm down around 190 to 200. I keep flexing. I like to eat hamburgers.
They are good. I mean, I'm eating 6 tacos, a thing of beans, a little bit of onion, a few pieces of radish. I'll probably have 4 beers tonight. So, I mean, it's important to keep your health in mind, when you're trying to perform at the top level like I do.
Yeah. But tacos are great, aren't they?
It's a taco stand. I mean, it's, like legitimate
tacos, not Taco Bell. That's not real food, folks. It's kind of scary what's in it. So, no, I like real food.
It would be an insult to the culture to not get tacos to go to Taco Bell instead of, because it's not even close.
I got Mama Rosa over here And every Thursday they have pulled pork taco. You know, the good one. The taco's been taco meat's been stewing in the green chili, and you could have a choice of hard or soft shell. I always like the streak style, the soft where they pan fry the shell hard with the meat in it and the cheese, and then they put the vegetables and the cream on top. Do you go avocado or you go sour cream or crema?
They only have avocado. They don't have crema where I go.
Mm.
So I get them con todo, which is with onions,
Tomatoes? No.
cilantro, salsa, and guacamole. Actually, I don't think they do salsa on the carne asada, but on the al pastor they use a little bit of sauce,
Yeah.
red
No.
sauce.
It's the other one. It's the shoot. Cilantro, red onion, and tomato and jalapeno for the other one.
Oh well, I don't. Yeah.
Pinco di gallo. Pinco di
Oh,
gallo.
pico de
That's,
gallo. Yeah.
yeah. You eat anytime Napoli's?
Any
Pickled
kind of what?
Napoli's pickled cactus.
No, never.
It's the green stuff on the side next to the salsa.
Well, I've always gotten all the salsas. I mean, whenever I go
You never
places,
seen Napoli's? You know, cactus? It looks like green, slicey, thin things.
maybe I haven't been to that authentic of a place yet.
You never eat chiva? Is it chiva or bria? I forgot
Biri-
what's.
Birria is like beef stew, I think.
Yeah, or goat stew.
Oh, is it?
It's one of the two. I forget. It starts with a C or a B.
No, I know birria. Um,
Oh, that's
Spanish.
Corsair's trainer. West Coast is up. Hi, Corsair, lurking in the background again.
Oh, you're right. It is goat. Birria is goat. No shit. I did not know that.
Yeah, and Corsair trainer's here.
Hello, Corsair trainer.
Hi,
How are you?
Steve. He moved
Oh, where did he move to?
across the valley.
In what state?
No, same area. We just across the valley, other side of LA, someplace.
Oh, gotcha.
It's an old joke.
Yes, Kevin. There are definitely a lot of places. I could walk 5 minutes on like different days and hit like a taco stand in several taco stands in every direction. From trailers to little shops in front of some store. The shop that I go to sets up at a car wash, but at night, like the car wash is closed, so they have the taco stand. So it's kind of an interesting utilization of land when you think about it, because the business that's open during the day is closed at night and nothing happens there. But here, these individuals are making food, providing for the community, making money for themselves, and utilizing that space. So it's sort of an interesting symbiotic relationship between these two different companies, one that does the day stuff and one that does the night stuff.
Yeah, Steve says he's still in Thousand Oaks. That's a pretty nice area, Steve.
I've been watching a lot of your food videos, Uncle Al. You're talking a lot about difference between long-term hoarding or long-term food storage and food hoarding. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, because you got to see Hubble's cats video where he tried. I'm storing jars of food, and I told Hubbles you can't store. I'm going to have to talk to somebody else. You cannot store certain foods for a certain period of time in glass jars. It doesn't work like that. And you know what he did? He flushed everything down the garbage disposal.
Oh no!
Because it all went bad. 5 years in glass jars. Would you dare to eat that?
I guess if something was canned properly, but I'm not a canning expert currently.
Right. Let's see you open a jar. These peaches are kind of brown. They smell funny. I wouldn't touch it.
That's why you have animals. Just feed it to the animals, right? We gotta have pigs.
And you see the animals at the vet. That's a $500 vet bill for pumping out your poor cat's stomach. But I fed him canned peaches. No.
So let me ask you, Uncle Al, if I go to Texas and I buy some property, they have It's going to be. It would potentially be South Texas, somewhere near Brownsville,
Oh
where it's.
God.
I know, where it's very
Get a
flat.
bottle of whiskey and a 45, and may God help you. It's Brownville, Texas. Why couldn't you go up north a little bit?
Well, you got to go. You got to go where the work is, Uncle Al.
Okay. A bottle of whiskey and a 45, and maybe a crucifix.
I can think of a worse way to live.
True. Just make sure you wear a cowboy hat. Then you're a real Texan.
No, I'm not going to be a fake Texan. They don't like that.
Right. But like I said, yeah, you're going to get property, but you're going to be on city or well.
I could probably go either way, depending. But if it's going to be a lot of acres, it could potentially be a well.
Okay, if you're going to do that, make sure you wrap your pipes and insulate it and plant them deep. I keep telling people this, and they're like, but it's so cheap with plastic. Yeah, but first time you have a freeze, guess what happens? And you saw what happened to Texas during the freeze, right? That's when you don't use plastic pipes in buildings. Keep telling people this, but they all look at me like Uncle On's nuts. No, you use metal pipes and you wrap it, no matter what climate. And they always, why do we have to wrap it in Florida? You'll find out. Why can't we use plastic? You'll find out. Then after the hurricane comes by, you see all these houses with all these plastic spikes shooting up water in the air.
What kind of insulation do you wrap the steel pipe with, Uncle Al?
They have R4 tape.
Huh.
And you have some pipes that your main water pipe you can do with a type of insulation tape with electric wires through it. So all you do is press a switch and it heats the pipe so it never freezes. See, Uncle Al may be crazy, but he isn't stupid.
Would using the well during a freeze for a couple days help thaw it if you had just an existing well that didn't have any insulation on it?
Probably froze like heck. Oh, there's WD.
What's up, Glock and Roll? I watch a lot of your videos.
And I know about I haven't got the chance to answer on the 4 jars of vodka sauce. If it's vodka, don't worry about it. If it's the tomato sauce I'm thinking of, you have to eat it in 2 years. Goes bad. You don't want to eat rancid tomato sauce. That's one of my lists I got to do for somebody.
Can you can tomatoes and keep them for a long time, or not so much?
Not so much. It's only up to 2 years.
Huh.
That sauce, whole, diced, chopped, ketchup. Ketchup. You heard about the ketchup shortage, right?
I have not. No. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ketchup shortage. So,
Well,
guys, be careful.
I have half a bottle, and I do like my ketchup, so that does concern me.
I do like I do. Make my own ketchup.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah,
Never
but
thought.
it's Romano paste tomatoes, not beefsteak, folks, or you get a watery brown ketchup. Like I had one guy, you can make ketchup with honey. No, you can't. It's either corn syrup or fructose syrup. Both are the same thing, corn and fructose. It's the same thing. I gotta get some more water. Be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's see.
Have to forgive me, but I haven't eaten a lot all day, which is why I'm working on these tacos from down the street. Maybe I'll make some notes on some life update stuff here as Uncle Al returns. Now, this would be a good time to do a live show on the regular. Unfortunately, I'm usually at work at this time. I wish these tacos could go on forever. They're so good. Sorry, I'm just writing some notes down here for some updates. I don't know what that one was about. Oh, house. Can't read my own writing. So let's jump into number one, work. Work is all right. Work in a factory, build stuff. Super fun. God, these beans are amazing. So work is work. You know how it goes. You show up, you do work, you go home. You get along with some people, don't get along with other people. Sometimes people you don't get along with as much as you would like, or your boss. Kind of annoying, but you got to keep your eye on the prize, right? Got to keep your eye on the prize. And for me, the prize is getting to Texas. So we can go build some exciting stuff. This taco is not cooperating with me. I'm sorry. And hopefully you can hear me okay. I have the mic a little further away from my mouth than I might normally like, but I was getting good audio signals on the test. So that's good. But why don't you guys help me out? What have you all been up to? I've been mostly working and not doing a ton on the house. Excuse me. Which has kind of been the same for too long. Are y'all worried about Biden, gun control? You worried about the Russians? In fact, I should write current events down. I personally could care less who is in control of the Ukraine. I mean, I guess, back in the old days, in theory, the reason that we went to Korea and Vietnam was to stop the spread of the communists, but I don't know how far it would have spread, hard to say. Oh, I think we have Uncle Al incoming. Works all right, Kevin. I've done the same thing for over a year now. Almost exactly a year. Nothing has really changed. It's not a very exciting job. It's a fascinating thing that I do, in my opinion, but working. But I plan on going to Texas for work, Kevin, to answer your question.
Yeah, you'll like Texas. Get a nice house. Make sure your code's better than Texas codes because they suck.
You're saying Texas build codes are lax?
Have you seen Wes S's place? Yeah, it's lax.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Remember that when you try to flush the toilet. Let's see.
Well, I could probably buy a newer house on a small lot with a lot of people, or I could buy an older house on a ranch or a big, property.
Now I go with smaller property. When they mean ranch, they do mean ranch. The smallest thing is 5 acres. You don't want all the copperheads, boa constrictors, armadillos, coyotes coming to your back door like, hey, we live here. You owe us food.
I've always wanted land, Uncle Al. I don't think I can give up that dream, even if I regret it.
Nah, you'll learn. This is you going to bed with your 30-30 and night vision and making sure no armadillos is coming up into my bed this night.
I'm not worried about the armadillos.
Aren't kids physically in school? Yeah, right. You're talking about the generation with little phones up their noses. Uh, Now, folks, on long term, I put it on cardboard, dried, pre-packed, freeze dried, 250 pounds. This will last you from 1 year to 2 years if way you pack it away. Canned foods anywhere from 1 to 2 years, depending on where you store it. And then frozen, you got to have a freezer. Are you going to get a freezer in Texas?
Yeah, but I'd be buying a lot of stuff in Texas. I could buy one now, but I'd have to put it on a trailer and take it over there.
Yeah, wait until you get to Texas. Get a 7 cubic foot one. And then you got fresh. Yeah, you're going to like Texas. Food's great. People are great. A lot more women. It's like between LA and Texas, you're throw a rock and you probably hit either a transvestite or a gay in California. In LA, in Texas, you'll hit 4 or 5 women with the same rock.
Sounds good to me. So the bike, wow. Um, had that motorcycle. I'm going to sell the motorcycle. The fork started leaking oil. Don't want to deal with it.
Now, get some land, go to Texas, get a nice house, do everything normal. First year, you got to work on the house. Second year, you kick out in the front yard, hold a barbecue for your neighbors, and just beat off the. Well, we can't say beat off women, but that doesn't sound right. No, no. You mean you'll have enough women knocking on your door than you can believe.
I get what you're trying to say, Uncle Al. It's all right.
Yeah, yeah. I know you're trying to knock off of food. Straight. Sorry about that, but hi, organ preventiveness. Yeah, yeah. He's trying to move to Texas.
Do or do not. There is no try, Uncle Al.
Yeah, I'll go for Texas. Loads of fun.
I'll like it. I don't think it's for everyone, but I think it's for me.
Yeah, you just got to get used to it. Settle down, drink Lone Star beer, and scratch your gut. Not a problem.
Say things like, howdy, y'all.
Oh, and Lone Star beer, the plant I forget which day, they have a free beer day. You buy a hot dog, go see the plant, get a free can of beer.
Of
What
course they
other?
do.
Yeah, what other great state give you 18 ounces of frosty cold beer? Do any of the local breweries in LA give you a frosty 8 ouncer? Hell no.
No. There's a lot of nice beer in LA, but you wouldn't move away from LA because there wasn't enough beer, that's for sure.
Give it time. Uh,
Yep, Texas is going to be great. Super excited. But the state's only half of it. The type of work that I'll be doing for my company is on the forefront of importance for the company. So you know how they say you got to go with the flow. Well, the flow of my company is going to Texas. So
you know why? Because California tried to kick them out.
well, California's a pain in the ass.
Oh,
Obviously.
yeah. And the Mexican food's better, a lot better in Texas.
Well, it won't be worse. That's for sure.
True.
It will not
You
be
have
worse.
to try either the barbecue or the Tex-Mex or True Mexican. The True Mexican, I enjoy. They have a lot of pork dishes.
Uncle Al, I'm going to be eating all the food in Texas. I'm going to eat Texas dry.
That's how I got 300 pounds.
Well, it's hard for me to put on that much weight, but I'll probably be over 200 within the first 6 months. I'm 190 right now.
Yeah.
But I'm 6'3". So
I'm 5'6". I'm a little piggy guy.
So I carry it pretty well, but
yeah. WD says, when are you moving? Once he burned down his house, get the insurance money.
Well, WD, I don't have a job down there right now. I have a job locally in Los Angeles area. So It's more I'm planting seeds right now. Figuratively speaking. So I'm talking to everyone at work like what the hell's going on in Texas? And I know a few people that know a few people, blah blah blah. So I can get down there, but I need a job, and B, I need to sort of square up a few things in California before I mean, I'm single and I don't have any kids or anything, so like it's not like I'm leaving anything behind. I can go there. Nothing's stopping me from going there, but I just have to square a few things away. But my plan is somewhere in 2022 I will be moving to Texas.
That sounds
Sooner,
good.
sooner the better. I'm done with California. I mean literally today I called the cops because this lady was wandering down the middle of the street and she was going to get run over and cost us, I mean she would get hurt, but she would also cost the state $40,000 if she gets hit and breaks her leg.
True.
So it's like, get out of the street. What are you doing? Can we just? But the problem is they closed all the asylums, so they could 5150 her, but there's nowhere for her to go. So they're going to let her out, and she's going to wander the. It's just I don't want to talk
Repeat
about
it.
stuff like that, but
It just repeats the cycle over and over again. That's why I know you're calling dispatch. At least you don't have dead bodies in your third house. Yeah, there's dead people in my backyard again.
you
Hi,
had that happen
Phil.
to you.
What?
You had
Oh
that.
yeah, because
Oh
I live near
jeez.
the highway, and all the drug addicts would come off the highway stoned or wasted or OD'd and crawl into my nice Xenia bed and pass away from overdose. I keep telling the cops I didn't kill them. I woke up in the morning and I seen dead bodies in my Xenia bed.
That's some weird stuff.
It is, especially your neighbors like, there's another dead body in a Xenia bed. I plant flowers. I grow vegetables. I'm not a mass murderer. But once you have three ambulances in a 2 month period pulling bodies out of your backyard, it kind of gets a little nervous with the neighbors.
Yeah, even the most. Yeah, I can see that. I would
And
be
I had a
concerned.
good backyard fence too. It was a 6 foot with concertina wire on top.
Nice. That's the one thing about having a lot of land is trying to physically secure all that acreage is impossible. Even some little shit ass fence, like you can't stop somebody jumping over your fence or cutting
True.
it or whatever. So yeah, that's why you got to get an ATV and just roam circles and YouTube live stream. Well, I'm checking out my property and go see if got to shoot anybody for putting their foot over the line over here. you
Yeah.
know,
Night, Steve. Steve's leaving us for go to bed.
see you, bud. Get some rest. Oh, you're driving, Oregon. Fun times. But no, I'm just a little sick with a chest cold today. My boss was so I stayed lit till 4 a.m. I work night shift. Normally I get off at 2 a.m. I stayed till 4 a.m. on Tuesday night, but I was feeling shitty all day Tuesday. I don't know. I sucked in some dust from our grind room or something from the house. I was like sweeping some concrete or more some shit. Anyways, my sinuses were all fucked up, and I had just felt like I just
Do.
breathed in nasty shit, and I was like, God damn it, this is really bad.
You
Then
know
I
what
stayed.
you do, LA? Get Vicks Vapor Rub, put it right over your nose, right here for the congestion in here. That'll drain it. And put it on the arch of your feet, a big slime of it on the arch of your feet. Put a sock over your foot. Do it, let's see, Tai Chi method, right foot. And you cover the left foot naked with a sock. Do you understand Chinese medicine?
No,
Okay.
I don't get how the vapor rub on the foot helps, but I believe you.
You put the vapor up here first.
Sure.
I gotta be careful. I cut myself shaving. And I didn't have white bandage tape, so I had to use black bandage tape
Oh my
over this.
God, you look like Hitler.
Yeah, I had to be on two lives for me. I didn't want blood coming out of my nose. So
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
look like Hitler on two live streams. But you do that, what it does, it draws out whatever's in your lungs, and it'll go into your left foot into the sock. It drains the heavy metal.
That's weird because I keep seeing, how you'll be like on website or whatever, and you see these like really stupid ads for like health products. There'll be like a cucumber over somebody's eyes, and it'll be like 10 things you didn't know about wrinkles or some stupid shit like that, right?
Right.
I saw some ad recently for this pad that you put on your foot that's supposed to like suck out toxins. So it's really funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah,
This
that's the new version. And I'm not paying $25 for two pieces of paper with the same ingredients as Vicks Vapor Rub. Screw that. I'll just buy the Vicks Vapor Rub, put it on my foot, and take care of that.
well, as I was mentioning to someone recently, I have a bunch of lemon trees in the backyard, so and I have honey. I have real honey in my cabinet. So tomorrow is going to be working on the house. I'm not going into work tomorrow. I'm too sick. I don't need to be there till 2 a.m. Um, but yeah, I got to square away the bathroom. I was actually jamming on the house Monday, which is where I was sweep. I don't know if I think I got it from the grind room because they grind metal there for different reasons. So there's just like tons of nasty powder metal shit in the air, and your body, heavy metals, your body can't process that. So it's either it kind of basically just stays in you somewhere unless you cough it out or whatever. So it's like you really got to be careful ingesting non-organic material because your body does not like non-organic material at all. Like
Right.
asbestos.
You have to be careful. You end up like Bill or the other lady, have cancer, either leukemia or they cut out your tongue and jaw bit.
My friend has a mom who has throat cancer, recovered, relapsed, recovered. I don't know if she's relapsing again, but it's not a great thing. His father just passed away. I don't remember what type of cancer his father had. Obviously, when you figure that out, it's not like the first question you're trying to ask because it's kind of besides the point at this point, you know. So, anyways, yeah, cancer is crazy stuff. But I think at some point they will kind of square away how to figure it out because cancer is really your body, unless it's like cancer related to like smoking or asbestos or radiation poisoning, unless it's like a specific cause of that cancer. I think it's mostly your cells just kind of getting confused and doing the wrong thing, and then they keep doing the wrong thing, and they really screw up your body because
Right.
they're stupid. They're making a mistake, but they're getting told what to do, but they're getting told the wrong thing. So if we can
Yeah.
tell them to stop doing the wrong thing, it won't be such of a problem.
Well,
But that obviously that's
people live forever, well, roughly about 500 years, like in the Bible. But it's basically you're trying to stop cellular degeneration mutation. And I tell people, if you figure that out, you have just won the lotto. It's the fountain of youth. It is cure to all diseases because our body is like a Xerox machine. If you put a bad copy of a bad copy, and what do you get coming out? A,
that
a,
that's a really great analogy, Uncle Al. Our body is like a Xerox machine because you're right. I've read that the the end of your chromosomes like starts deteriorating as you get older, and you just become a worse copy. And since our bodies are constantly regenerating, those bad copies end up just kind of you know
Now, if
out.
you take out the bad copy and replace it with a crystal clear new copy, what happens to your body?
I guess it would get better. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets better, and you feel, I'm a lot younger. I grew hair again. I'm not 40 pounds heavy. I'm built. And then just make sure you use the same original copy every time you make a copy of your body cells.
Well, I have to tell my body to stop making shitty copies. I don't know how that's going to work, but
It's like China. We always get shitty copies.
that was a good one. Oh,
I'm
China.
having too much fun. I told everybody after they watched my last video, our president just broke the law 6 times this morning and told him we can transform the Constitution. He hasn't read Article 25. I think our new president is Miss Harris, President Harris, in a
I
couple of weeks.
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think anyone would be surprised, and I don't know if it bothers me more that everyone sort of is like okay with it, or the fact the whole thing. The more I pay attention to politics, the more I'm just like, oh my god, these people are in charge. What the hell is going on? This is not good. This is really not good. And I'm like very anti sort of like doom and gloom. I'm very anti conspiracy, even though I kind of like, believe in aliens or the Illuminati or whatever, right?
Oh, wait until
But
June on that.
but the point is like I'm not like paranoid that someone's out to get me, but when you look at the decisions that people in power are making, like New York's going to give illegals $15,000 that lost their job, and like when you read something like that, how do you not go, "What the hell are they thinking?" 15 grand that's either borrowed and we have to pay back, or it's coming from tax money from people that are actually paying taxes. $15,000 that could have gone to build our country better, that just goes to some person just like to spend on rent and food and who knows what.
Yeah, it's like more shovels. We could take care of everything. Remember 2008, where everybody said, "Yeah, we got all these shovels," and find out we don't have the people using the shovels. Remember that? And we had 4 years of recession. Yeah, we got all these shovels here, but there's nobody holding the shovels doing the work.
I started my real estate career in 2008, believe it or not. My first job was with a lady who used to work at $1 million development. So they developed this area. God, I can't even remember what it was called, but it had some dumb
Ca-
name like, like
Casa,
Rainbow
like something.
something Rainbow Hill Estates or something
Yeah.
like that. So they so it was just like $1 million home after $1 million home after $1 million home after. They were all fucking palatial, like mansions on like an acre, half an acre, double spiral stairs up to the in the foyer and all this shit. So she used to work there. Then she started her own company. The market was going down. She was having to call clients and tell them, you have to reduce the selling price of your home by 50 grand, which was more than I was making in a year at the time. And I was like, they're losing a year's worth of salary of value every month on these homes.
Oh yeah.
Or so it was a very surreal experience to be selling $1 million homes that are getting price reductions that's more than I make in a whole year. It's like, good lord, this is crazy. And it was
Well,
crazy.
yeah, but it's fun. Uh, you don't have Netflix yet, right?
I used to have it, but I wasn't super impressed with it, so I canceled. I'm only on Disney Plus and Amazon Prime right now.
Oh, Disney Plus is not bad. Did you watch WandaVision?
One episode. It was all right. Do you like it?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing in one day. Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that good either.
Yeah, I mean, the first episode was sort of kitschy and like I felt like I don't know. It probably gets better over time. Um, you ever watch Hannah?
Yeah, and that gets kind of kitschy too, but it's all right.
Yeah, it did, but it was kind of an interesting take on like mind control and sort of secret government plans to like manipulate the bigger picture.
Oh,
I thought it was all right.
that's easy. They base some of their stories on this.
Ooh, that looks like an interesting book.
Yeah, it's a
Can I
school book.
can I read it after you're done? And I'll send it to somebody else.
You can get the PDF off of whatchamacallit, internet. It's a lot quicker.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, that's the author's name right there. There's two versions of it.
Hold on, it's out of focus. Something
Shabuti?
I Ma, Me, Magada Ishaba. Ooh, that's a name.
Try to say that 3 times fast. Hi, CR. Yeah, you can get the PDF offline. You never had that in college as a text course?
Not that specific book, no.
Oh, I forgot. That's Psych 1. You have to take Psych 1 to understand that. That's really fun.
I did take one psychology class that was literally Psychology 100. I do remember that, but
It's so easy to mess with people's minds. I'm just a nice guy and only use it for my Sunday school class. You try to teach 20 rowdy children the Bible.
well, I used to be in Boy Scouts, so I know what dealing with a bunch of immature children is like. You have to
Do
be
that.
strict and keep the clear guidelines and clear goals. So the way that I did it was educational, sort of educational section, work section, fun section, in that order. So they learned some shit, they did some shit, maybe reverse those orders, but they have to learn something, they have to do something, and then they got to fuck around for a little bit, potentially reinforcing what they learned or what they did.
Right. We one year we did Noah's Ark, and we had fun. I told the kids, get all your toy dinosaurs. And then we did Noah's Ark, and I had one kid playing Noah did not believe in dinosaurs, and start throwing into the audience
Oh, but
as a Sunday school play. All you dinosaurs, get off the boat. And the kids loved it. They say,
that
we had
sounds
2
so
sheep,
funny.
we have 2 cows, and everybody brought a cow or a sheep or giraffe or a lion or a tiger, and they went on to the ark. And then here's Noah, one of the kids who was actually a spoiled brat, who enjoyed this, got the beer, did the Noah and the staff, and start throwing dinosaurs off the ark.
That's
And the
so
parents were like,
hilarious.
and I had another kid who couldn't read the passage correctly in the Bible, read the whole verse and story of Noah correctly for 30 minutes. And people were amazed because the kid used to have a stutter, and he read the whole passages straight because he was so thrilled seeing dinosaur fly by and
Wow.
hitting the audience. Some of the kids dropped their animals and joined in, throwing stuff at their parents. Here's a dinosaur and Tyrannosaurus, Mom.
Oh
Noah
my
doesn't
god.
want these on the boat. It was
That's
funny.
that sounds lovely. That sounds really funny.
Yeah, but they had fun. They learned about Noah and the ark and the release of the dove and the raven. Hi, Pervy Pepper.
Oh my gosh, here he is, Mister. Why doesn't LA Prepper shop at Costco? Pervy Prepper. Why
Oh,
doesn't he? Why doesn't he like? I buy pizza at Costco and sometimes a smoothie or an ice mocha blend thing. But
but remember, folks, on the draft is a voluntary selective service. Conscription, I keep messing that word up. Conscription is press gang. They could arrest you. You don't have any rights to protest, say no. They have all the rights to shoot you on the spot and put you in chains. That's all your rights you have. So I tell
yeah,
people it's totally different. You have to read history.
well, I'm about to be too old to join the military, so I'm not worried about it too much. But I did consider a military career at some point in my life several times, believe it or not. Um, had a lot of family that served, so
Right. But it's not, whatchamacallit, the draft. It's, whatchamacallit, conscription, press ganging. You have 2 choices. You can work in a work draft, which is slavery. Look at China. You're in a work draft program. We just call it slavery, so it looks good on the paperwork.
well, Germany has a national service where you have to spend some time in the military, or you can do sort of a social thing for a little bit. Israel has a national service where you have to spend some time with. You don't have to be a soldier forever, but you have to spend some time doing some military shit. If you're an Israeli citizen, boy or girl, they don't care. They have Israeli soldiers can be super hot because they take like everyone who's a citizen. So it's not just people that want to join the military, it's like all women. So, and
Right.
I used to have a Jewish girl that I hung around with, and I asked her once, I said, did you do that, that thing? And she was like an Israeli citizen at the time. I don't know if she was born there, just she happened to have the citizenship, and she was like, yeah, I did the thing with the rifles and all that. And I was like, no shit. So, yeah, they don't
Yeah.
fuck around. They
Yeah,
do
you
not
can
mess around.
refuse on the draft, and you can go as a objectors, a what they call it.
Conscientious objector, yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
And you could do that, and you go to a federal prison. It's not a real prison. It's like you go there for the weekends and come back home. But a lot of people did that, but it's still a felony. And a lot of people burned draft cards and went to Canada and protest and stuff. You could do that on the draft. But when they tried press ganging in the Civil War on the Irish, you seen Gangs of New York, right?
No, was it worth watching? I know it's a
Yes,
classic.
especially the draft riots. We're not drafting, we're conscripting or press ganging. That turned ugly,
Interesting. And
real ugly.
Purvy's making an interesting point. If the draft was voluntary and hi, autistic prepper, I guess thank you for watching letting your boyfriend watch. Does your boyfriend have to get permission to watch YouTube videos from you? That seems, I don't know. That seems a little weird. I hope
She's the lady of the house.
Well, I guess like they say, where's wearing the pants, right? Which is a very sexist thing to say,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
but hello, autistic prepper
Hi,
and
Virginia.
boyfriend.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
Oh, is her name Virginia? I didn't know you knew her.
Oh yeah, we know. I send her used to send Christmas cards. I've just been busy all the time right now.
Does your boyfriend have his own YouTube channel? Pervy, stop hitting on autistic prepper.
But like I said, press ganging is totally different. Look at the British when they press gang. They used to come aboard other people's ships, like the French and American during the Napoleonic era, and used to like, you're press gang, but we're Americans. Doesn't matter.
I
People don't
just
read.
I
Go
just
ahead.
googled that word. That's really interesting stuff. I will have to familiarize myself with the concept of press ganging impressment, the press or the press gang, taking men into a military or naval force by compulsion with or without notice. Oh, it's pretty
In other
serious shit.
words, they put you in irons and they hit you over the head. That's the easy way. Hard way is bayonet. I'm pointing at you. You have just joined the Royal Navy. Yes, don't kill me.
My father was born in New Zealand, and the story of obviously white people are not from New Zealand as far as like growing up from monkeys is concerned. And the story is he jumped off a ship. He like my great grandfather, so a few greats grandfather, jumped off some ship. He was like a cabin boy on some ship, and they were in New Zealand. He was like, "All right, fuck this shit. I'm staying here. I'm not doing the ship thing. I'm not about it." And I'm sure back in like the 1700s or 1800s or whenever he was on this ship, it was probably a pretty crappy life for a 14-year-old cabin boy. So I think he made a good choice.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so it's funny you mentioned the whole military thing because I we have no idea how the hell he was on that ship or like his family or he was broke or they told him it would be a good idea or if they just grabbed him off the street and said, "Hey boy, come here, you're going to be on this ship," and he was like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, you don't
So
know what they used to do for press gang. Sometimes the guys are smart. Instead of with bayonets or chains and stuff, they will buy you like a can of beer or a jug of ale, and they will drop the king's shilling. They say, "Here, let me buy you another round," and you're drunk. You have a lot of liquor in you, and some guy gave you a gold shilling, put it right in your hand, and you say, "That's great," and you drink your beer. Next morning, when you wake up after your beer and egg, and like, where am I? I have a shilling in my hand, and then they'll show you. You signed it with an X. You're in the king's service for the next 10 years. What? They would
that
do that a lot in Ireland.
so you're saying they would try to get people drunk and take advantage of them. Well, it's nice to know human nature hasn't changed in hundreds of years.
Yeah, immigrated from England to Tasmania, and his grandfather came from Australia.
Yeah, I'm reading that right now. That's super interesting, Pervy. I used to live in Perth. I lived in Perth, Australia, on the west coast of Australia, for a year and a half, from '89 to '91. I'll never forget. Played cricket, Had a couple good. Australia was. This is how safe Australia was. I was 8, 9 years old, right? My mom would let me jump on my bike, ride down to the fish and chip store, pay for the fish and chips, get the fish and chips, and ride back home by myself in the dark when I was 9 years old.
Yeah,
And
because it was
never,
safe,
it was super safe. There's nothing to worry about.
except for the spiders, the wasps, the poison snakes. I forgot what else is poison down there. Jellyfish
Every
and
everything.
yeah. So you don't have to worry about anything else. If you could pass through that, you could survive anything.
I never. I saw a few kangaroos. I pet a koala. I pet a wombat. Um, I never got stung by a jellyfish. I never saw a snake in Australia. Now we didn't go like hiking a lot in the bush. My dad kind of worked a lot. I wish we got would have spent a little. I mean, we spent out time outdoors. My dad used to take me sailing on these Hobie cats in the bay, and excuse me, he's a pretty solid sailor. I mean, he's not like a professional sailor, but I don't know. It's in his blood. He gets how it works. He used to hang glide. In fact, I think in Australia, I saw my dad almost die on a hang glider, which was
Mm,
really scary. He was getting towed from the ground, and you know how when you play with a kite, when the kite falls and it just like slams into the ground, kind of what my dad did. And there was a few seconds of my life when I don't know if I would have lost my dad or not, and I know for sure, had I lost my dad that day, I would not be where I am today. It just my mom is an amazing person, but there's no way that she could have sort of like filled in that void from losing a father at a young age. It would have been devastating. I would have been really fucked up like as a kid. I don't know if I would have survived that mentally. But anyways, he didn't die, thank God. He was wearing a helmet. He barely got hurt miraculously. Like I don't even think he busted a tooth. I think he maybe cut his lip or something, but like it was a fucking miracle. Like if there's anything that makes me believe in God, like things like that make me believe like somebody just like guided him to the ground and said we're like his family can't lose him right now. It was a very crazy moment.
right. Like I said, take it easy. Wait. Let the crud out of your system. Drink more beer. It always helps.
It truly is. You would be. I mean, that's why they used to give like whiskey on the gums to a baby when they're teething and stuff like that. Alcohol helps calm the body down, not be so agitated.
Right. But uh, when my family used to brew it in the backyard, nah, I wouldn't touch it. This says it's good for you, Grandpa. It's cloudy and has chunks of things in it. It's good for you, full of vitamins and minerals. But it's also 40 proof. That's why I didn't drink it. And it's natural carbonization and warm. And there's things swimming in it. Would you drink it?
It's so funny, Pervy. You're talking about your grandfather was in a gliding club. My uncle and his father were both pilots. So even though my uncle is not related to me by blood, he's the uncle that married my aunt. Um, for whatever reason, I feel a strong desire to like that flight should be part of the legacy that I live. It doesn't make any sense that I should want to get a pilot's license.
No, no.
You can get a plane and go fly anywhere you want, but I used to want to be a pilot in the military, probably because Top Gun was only one of the 8 VHS tapes that I had. So if you watch Top Gun enough, you will want to be a pilot in the Navy or the Air Force. It's like unavoidable when you're a
No, what you
kid.
do is when you move to Texas, join a Texas sailing club. And we're not talking about boats.
Oh, like glide planes,
Yeah,
sailplanes. Oh
those are
yeah, no, for
great.
sure. Very, very safe.
You could
Just the
rent it
landing,
out.
you only
You
got
could,
one chance on the landing because you can't go around. But
yeah.
but no, gliders are really, really cool. I would love to buy one. It's really expensive to rent one. It's like $200 an hour for a glider and $200 for the pilot. So you'll go broke going up with somebody. But if you get
No,
your
but if,
license and rent one or buy your own,
it's
and
worth it.
there's all the dirt, so the sun just hits all the dirt, and then all the air gets warm, and you get all those thermals, and you just fly around all day. You get a tow
Right.
up, and then fly around. And if you have a lot of money, you buy one that has an electric motor, and you fly up yourself. That's like, oh, that's the life
And
right
then you
there.
glide down.
Yeah, someday when I'm 80 years old, I'll buy a plane like that.
You
But
know, you could do it now instead of wasting money on a motorcycle. You could get your own sailplane, and it'll fit right behind your car. It's easy to
Lexus,
tow,
yeah, yeah, they would.
and you can tow and you fly anywhere in Texas. Of course, you got to watch out for the thermals, and you end up in Cuba
I
because I
like
keep
South America. I love
yeah
Cuban food. Oh my God, Cuban food is amazing. We had this
right,
place in
but you
Walnut
don't want to
Creek
be
where I live. Oh,
caught in the updraft and like where's land
no, yeah, it's very
because
true.
they had one guy accidentally caught into that thermal wave, I think, back in the 90s. And he ended up in Cuba. His sailplane went from San Antonio, Texas, all the way to Cuba on the wind. Just isn't that crazy?
I believe it. Yeah. In fact, there's videos of guys like messing around with kites, like those kites that they use for kite surfing, like really big kites that can lift up a human being and like screwing around on mountains and getting. There's one video, really crazy video, of this dude just getting like dragged up into the sky, and I think he fell like really bad and really screwed himself up, even though it was snow, because he fell from like 300 feet with this kite or something insane. So you gotta.
Yeah, snow hurts at 300 feet when you're going. "Ee, boonk."
Yes, Pervy, the wind Lexus Moran. I still haven't given up on building a trimaran, and maybe when I'm Texas, maybe I'll spend the next 10 years building that trimaran with carbon fiber and aluminum that I've always wanted to build.
Yeah, but that's on the coast,
The South,
right
Brownsville's
between.
on the south point of Texas, right down super south.
Yeah, that's. I know where it is, but between the guests from Mexico and the half naked college students, I don't think you have time to build a boat there.
Maybe I'll have to buy one. But Uncle Al, I know I'm crazy, but there's things like buying a ranch, learning how to fly a plane, building a boat. I can't control it. It's just what I have to do. I can't explain it. Why I have to go to Texas? I just have to go to Texas, Uncle Al. The universe is telling me that's where I need to be, so I have to go there. I can't resist it. You got
Well,
to go with the flow.
you're young, you'll enjoy Texas. Just make sure you got your bottle of whiskey and your 45, and make sure it's a woman, not a man. I had it mixed
Well,
up for a second. Uncle, I'm tired.
I,
You need to
I
go to bed.
suppose I suppose I suppose finding what you want in life is important as far romantically speaking.
Right, but like I said, you'll have fun in Texas.
Probably acreage, Pervy. Hopefully acreage. Um, I mean, I don't plan on selling my house, so it's not like I'm going to have a windfall in cash reserves for a down payment or anything. So it's going to be an FHA property, but hopefully by then that job will. And ironically, even if I get a better job down there, the better income won't really help me buy the house because I won't have had 2 years of the higher income. So if anything, I really need to bolster my income now so that 2 years of income is good enough to buy. But Uncle, I was going to ask you about the place. So like they have some places that are like farms that have like a bunch of trees up, and I'm not really trying to buy like an orange farm or an almond farm because then I have to like actually farm the land. But
Right.
unless I get a creek next to my house, do you recommend trying to find somewhere that might have access to irrigation so that I could like have access to some type of water to grow plants or something? Or
If you're on East Texas, not a problem. If you're West Texas or on the coastline, you have two problems. You're either having storms all the time, so you got to harden up your house. Water is either supplied by the city or it comes from a well. You have to be careful on that because if you're in the wrong area, it's like, today's water is chunky coming out of the well. So you have to be careful on that. If you're hooked up on city water, I would get a storage tank, hold about 300 gallons. That way you don't have to worry about running out of water. And it's easy. I told my friend that, and he lives in East Texas. He just got 12 acres of land and one of those metal buildings that he's converting into a house. You know, those metal storage buildings?
Yeah, the really cheap like just frame and aluminum panels and whatever. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He's already insulated the inside. He's putting in the bathroom. Nice bathroom. He says it's better than his new old house in the suburbs. And it's a walk-in bathroom, big bathtub, so he can sits in and just goes to sleep. It has all the stuff, and he has a toilet too, and that's a bidet.
You ever watch Curtis Stone farming, that Canadian micro farmer guy?
Right. That's a lot of work.
It is, but he was one of the things he was talking about his house. He was like, "Oh, I can't give up my bidet. I need my bidet." I'm like, "Oh, I guess some people like water splashed on their ass more than others." I like the guy's super cool, but it was just funny that you said that. Yeah, pervy. I don't know. I used to live in Texas, right? So like and at that time of my life, when you're a kid, up to about I don't know, up to about middle school, up to about second grade, I think I really started like I enjoyed life like all the time. When I came back to America, third grade was okay, fourth grade was pretty good. By fourth and fifth grade, you kind of started getting like more drama, more emotions, more problems. Like life just got more real for me, whatever reason, fourth or fifth grade. I don't know why. We had a lot of kind of shitty kids at our school in fifth grade for whatever reason that were getting into fights, and throwing rocks, and doing stupid shit. I went to a pretty good middle school, but we lived in an area where there was like mostly nice. There was like super nice on the hill where I lived, but I lived like below the mansions, right below the mansions, in a
The in
very
between line.
yeah. I mean, it was an enormous house. It was right next to the freeway, but it was a 5 bedroom, 2 bath. It was like 2,500 square foot. So we had first floor was literally a family room, a kitchenette next to the kitchen, a dining room, and a living room and a foyer. So like I've never in my life lived in a house so big that we had a playroom, a living room, and a dining room. And then we had 5 bedrooms upstairs. We heard that it might have been like one of the developers' house. So he kind of made it like super nice. And it
I
was
don't
an
like Austin. That's answer Prui's question. I don't like Austin. I like San Antonio or Houston. I like people that shoot other people area. I don't like to play the guitar and sitar and bang on drums. That's not my style.
Well, the place that I'm going in Texas, it's because that's where my work has stuff going on. So I wherever it was, I tell people like, look, I'd love to go to Texas, but it's not that I'm dying to go to Texas. I'm dying to be part of what our company is doing in Texas. So if they were in Alaska, if they were in Antarctica, if they were in, the Amazon, I don't really want to go to the Amazon. But the point is, it's more about what's going on there than where it is. It just happens to be there, which is why that's where I'm going. And people ask me, they're like, "Oh, did you get a job down there?" And I'm like, "No, but that's not the point. The point is that's where I'm going to be, no matter what. That's my goal. That's going to happen." So, and a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people kind of think like, "Well, I'm going to try to do this, or I'm going to see if this works out, or maybe it would be nice if this happened to me." But when you really want something out of life, you have to say, this is going to happen no matter what. So, anyways,
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy Texas. Loads of fun. Well,
hopefully.
hopefully it's like an hour and 20 minutes we've been on, so I gotta get to bed. I gotta go shopping for elderly couples tomorrow. I got two. I got on my list someplace.
That's very thoughtful of you, Uncle. Yeah, I'm probably going to sign off too. I didn't really have anything super important to talk about. I just kind of wanted to jump on and see some people and whatnot.
Yeah, do it on your free time. Just jump on, yak about it. Go check Wyatt Family Farm. She's a nice lady. She's trying to farm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I think Uncle Al and people joining, we're going to end it right now. But thanks for joining. Thanks for coming by. And we will see you next time, people. Take
Night,
care.
folks.